As a pedestrian, where there is no pedestrian walkway, you need to walk and face the cars. But where there is a pedestrian walkway, just as I am, this portion is a pedestrian walkway. So I have to be walking on the pedestrian walkway. So this portion is what we call the pedestrian walkway. So as I am a pedestrian, I have to be walking on this pedestrian walkway. But in a two-way traffic road where there is no pedestrian walking, then the pedestrian have to walk and face the what? The incoming vehicle. So as you see, I am walking on the pedestrian walkway. I am walking on the pedestrian walkway. And in case I want to cross, I have to keep on walking until I get to where the pedestrian crossing is. So you could see myself and these children, they are all walking on the pedestrian walkway. So that is where a pedestrian is supposed to walk and pass. So this pedestrian walkway is being designed by our road engineers. And it is very beautiful for every pedestrian to be able to use the pedestrian walkway to walk when he is on this two-way traffic road. So our road is supposed to design in such a way that we can have a pedestrian walkway and then a pedestrian crossing. So you could see the pedestrian crossing signboard, warning sign, indicating that the pedestrian crossing is ahead of us. So we are so on the what? On the pedestrian walkway. So we cannot stand here and cross the road. We need to keep on walking till we get to where the pedestrian crossing is. There we can stand and cross. So this is the sign of the pedestrian crossing. So this is warning us that there is a pedestrian crossing ahead. And where we are all walking now, it is known as the pedestrian walkway. So as a pedestrian on the street, we're supposed to walk and pass through the pedestrian walkway. So we are still using the pedestrian walkway until we get to where the pedestrian crossing is. Then we can then cross, we can then walk and cross the pedestrian crossing. So this is also what all this portion is so known as what? Pedestrian walkway. Pedestrian walkway. So now this is the pedestrian crossing. This is the actual place that the pedestrian is supposed to stand and cross. So I am here. I have to stand like this, and this line marking you see, that is where the pedestrian is supposed to stand and cross. And as a pedestrian, when I step on the line marking 1, that is when my power begins for me to walk and cross the road. So I have crossed the road first. Assuming I have to cross again, then I need to stand here. As soon as the pedestrian step on the line like this, all the cars here and here supposed to stop for the pedestrian to be able to walk and cross the street. So this is what we call pedestrian crossing. Now let's assume that I have crossed. There is no pedestrian walkway there. I need to stand and then walk and face the what? The incoming what? Vehicle. So this is what we call pedestrian walkway, and then this line marking is the pedestrian crossing. So that is it. So now you see we have this pedestrian walkway here. All of us can walk and face this pedestrian walkway. But assuming there is no pedestrian walkway, we need to walk and face the incoming vehicle. So that is today. I am not a driver on the street. Today I am a pedestrian on the street. So that is all for today. That is all for today. As a pedestrian walkway we have done. Thank you.